What's up, gamers? We are back with more Starfield. I need to start off this video with some bad news. Fortunately, the 84 videos of the main series of this game went up on my channel without a hitch. No major technical difficulties or anything like that. But unfortunately, I started filming these bonus videos. And towards the end of the first bonus video, where we were doing Ryujin Industries faction quest, and the entire second video, the second bonus video, there were audio problems. I don't know if it's a problem with my controller, a problem with my mic, a problem with Twitch. The end of the first video, there was just really obnoxious noise coming in through my mic, which I will have edited out. And the entire second video I recorded, a whole 2 hours and 40 minutes, had no audio from my mic, so no commentary. I thought long and hard about how I wanted to handle that situation. Fortunately, because I am good at policing my save games, I had a save file at a pretty good spot to sort of reload and just replay the things that didn't work out as a recording. You may hear on and off during this sort of an echo. That's because I am quietly listening to the audio coming from the Twitch stream to make sure we're not experiencing any technical difficulties like I did the other day. So we're back in Imogen's office. I think I'm going to end up having to cut out the part where I returned here. So there may be part of this quest that's missing from the videos that go up on YouTube. And I apologize for that. Trust me, there was just major audio issues. I may, depending on, when I get to the editing chair, I may leave parts of it in there with no audio, just so it's complete. But this is where we're at with the quest currently. I need to travel to Hope Tech on Polvo in the Velo system to plant an ARC device. Towards the end of the last video, I was cursing Imogen because I love Hope Tech. I love their ship parts. So I definitely don't want to sabotage Hope Tech. I hope this won't have any downstream consequences for doing this mission, but we're going to try and do our best for Ryujin here. I also still have balancing the books. I don't know at what point in the last video I would have turned this in. But this save game was before I turned it in, so we're going to do that right at the beginning of this video. Unfortunately, everything that happens in this video is not blind, which is why I wanted to just get the disclaimer out of the way, explain what happened. This is all going to be stuff that I've already done before. But I didn't have many options other than I could have recorded audio to go over the video of me playing this blind. But what's the point in that? I mean, you're still not really getting my blind reactions to anything. So I'll still, I'll provide commentary and whatnot. But I am aware of what happens in the next couple stages of this quest, and there's just nothing I can do about that, unfortunately. Andrea traveling with me has been great. We were able to advance her relationship a little bit, which I'm hoping will also happen during this recording. And yeah, one other thing I did towards the end of the last video is I picked Imogen's pocket, and I got her. Oh, I don't think I stole her coffee before. I actually got her passcode to her computer over here. And I read the things that were on here, so let's go through this real quick. From Andy Apala, PTO, this is your quarterly reminder to be aware of your PTO per policy. Your PTO does not roll over or get paid out at the end of the year. It is your responsibility to use this time wisely before it expires. The PTO policy is non negotiable. Any questions or concerns may be directed to Carlo Vaughn. That's from Andy in HR. We have another message from HR. Privacy policies effective immediately. We're making the following adjustments to our to our policy regarding social interactions with the news media. Only approved marketing employees may issue public statements regarding any aspect of the corporation. Any contact with a news media outlet must be reported to marketing immediately. Approvals for news media interaction must be sent to Genevieve Monahan, Carlo Vaughn, Alexis Price, and Dalton Fiennes, basically the entire executive suite. Failure to follow these guidelines may result in immediate termination. Andy from HR. We have these pending approvals. These are for basically operative missions. A-class recovery, risk low. Confirmed reports of a newly developed grav drive tech. Requesting recovery for comparisons. B-class recovery, danger high or risk high. Intel recovered on accuracy improvements for laser sight tech. Current Intel estimates. I can't read this. I'm a little flustered from what's happening, as you can tell. Current Intel estimated to be 94.5% accurate. A-class security, risk high. Received reports of R821 working on a new security prototype. Current Intel estimated to be 33.6% accurate. Needs security access to confirm reports to determine if recovery assignment is needed. And then we've got A-class ARC. I think this is the one I've been assigned with Hope Tech. Risk low. Production impairment required for W118, which we know is Hope Tech. Whoops, I am not done on this computer. Don't know why I closed that. Quarterly reviews. April Sweeney. Status active. Strengths. Excellent at high-level information retrieval. Capable of taking on multiple roles when needed. Needs improvement. Constantly demanding time from technicians. Dislikes paperwork, resulting in consistently late deadlines. Asterisk. Is this really a negative? Yeah, because we know Imogen also hates paperwork. Esteban Virgin R. Claire. Active. Strong stealth and infiltration skills. Very tech savvy. Needs improvement. Not good with people. Period. At all. Period. Blake Vance. Strengths. Excels at long-term infiltration. Excellent at last-minute improvisation. Prone to emotional attachment. Oh, what's wrong with that? Come on, Imogen. Personal reports. Lunch with Ularu. I went to lunch with Ularu yesterday, and it was strange. I could sense something was off, but she denied it. Refused to tell me, as usual. I wonder what's up with her. It wasn't like her usual moods, where she's questioning herself and her abilities. I think maybe Imogen and Ularu have a relationship. Moments of disorientation. All these emails were really interesting. Are really interesting. I'm gonna stop referencing what happened in the lost footage and just push forward. They're all very interesting because they sort of hint at problems with Imogen, like secrets that she has, but you can't confront her about any of this. I don't know if it'll come up later in the faction quest. We will see. I've been having a few moments of disorientation lately. It's as if I spaced out completely. Perhaps it's these mind-numbing quarterly reviews. I'll have to make an appointment with my doctor just in case. Maybe even bring this up to my therapist. Is Lane trustworthy? I know Yuku's been telling Lane all sorts of confidential information. Lane is pretty clean according to his files. And if anyone can get a beat on someone, it's Yuko. I guess we all need a sounding board. I took a peek inside her own files, and, no surprise, she has an eye on him at all times. I don't get her obsession with watching us. All right, my last time referencing the lost footage, I did meet Lane. Lane is her secretary. Genevieve's secretary, the big boss lady. All right,
It's
let's
always
talk to
interesting
Imogen.
to
I
see
don't
who
think she
dares
has
to make a
anything
move on
for me, but
Ryujin in the
let's
first
just make
place.
sure.
If businesses truly cared about their bottom lines and reputations, they wouldn't mess with Ryujin in the first place.
Can you tell me more about the ARC device?
The ARC is a specially engineered tool designed to let us take control of any system within its detection radius. It transmits the signals carried by the hardware to our technicians, where it can be interpreted and then manipulated. It doesn't guarantee complete control, but it gives us enough room to be dangerous.
And then, excuse me for clearing my throat. What do you hope to accomplish with this assignment?
This assignment serves as a reminder to all corporations that any actions taken against us will be repaid in kind. Think of it as a small price for only one to pay that serves as a deterrent for the rest.
Yeah, this whole mission is a little sketchy. It sounds like she's basically doing like a terrorist attack against Hope Industries, but let's go ahead and let's return the slate to Rafael Hamza, as is hopefully included in the last video. We recovered his slate by cooperating with a street urchin, a beggar panhandler, who was quite the lovely character. Let me see if there's a description on this quest. Right, a Ryujin tech, Rafik Hamza, has asked me to recover a slate with some classified intel. I spoke to a local panhandler who found the slate and traded it for the spreadsheets they had lost. I should now return to Hamza for my reward. Yeah, Huang Li was awesome. She was really fun character to meet. But let's set Ramsa's mind at ease, or Rafik's mind at ease. Rafik Hamza. I mashed his two names together there.
How goes the slate search? Any complications?
I recovered your slate.
It seems assigning you to this task was time well spent. And as I said when we met, time is money. Hopefully these credits will serve as adequate compensation. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have an operative to debrief.
All right. Mission accomplished. It is time. Head to Hope Industries. There was something I wanted to talk about, because it's going to come up. And boy, did I complain about this in the lost footage that no one will ever see. Basically, as you may recall, on this playthrough, I killed Ron Hope.
Smugglers always like to use Hope Tech ships to resemble legitimate transports.
Andrea,
Wonder how the
I'm
company
trying to
feels
talk about
about
that
that.
here. Could you not? In
Yes.
fact, based on what I understand is about to happen, I think we're going to go ahead and
Do not have all
have
the fun
Andrea
without
wait
me.
for us here. Essentially, I had to kill Ron Hope. Well, I didn't have to kill him, but I chose to kill Ron Hope as part of the Freestar Collective faction quest. Ever since I did so, Hope Tech has been bugged, and whenever I enter the building, I get attacked by security instantaneously. Unfortunately, as a result of that, when I went to turn in this quest, when I was finished with it, Imogen and everyone acted like I had tarnished my perfect record at Ryujin Industries. Like I'd screwed up on this quest, because obviously I ended up killing the security guard, which is not ideal. And I don't think it affected anything particularly important. I think it just lowered the rewards I got for doing the quest. But it did create, there was a lot of dialogue from the NPCs that was clearly like customized to like me being an imperfect operative, which really upset me because I was trying to be the best I can be for this faction quest, and it really bothered me. It really irked me that because of this bug, and it is a bug. There doesn't seem to be a way for me to complete this part of the faction quest without some trouble, without a casualty. So what I'm going to try and do when I enter this building is I'm going to try and use diplomacy on the guard. I'm hopeful that will allow me to slip by them without combat. Maybe if I don't kill them, they'll consider this a great success instead of a failure. We'll have to see. It's the best thing I can think to do, and if it doesn't work, we're just going to push forward, and hopefully you won't hear me complaining as much as I did in the last video, because I complained a lot about that.
One. I don't want to hear any complaints.
Yeah, well, I'm going to try not to complain, but I think it's going to happen. Diplomacy attempt failed. Okay, let's try again. Sorry about this. I was really hoping it would just work and then we could carry on. And I think it's still going to count as me upsetting security. So it's still going to register as an imperfect mission for Ryujin. I don't think there's anything I can do about that. But this is the best thing I can think to try. So I do want to at least do this successfully and see if it makes a difference. If it does, I'll be kind of glad my footage got corrupted because I was super salty about this, and it would make my day if this fixes things. Diplomacy attempt failed. I wonder if it's just failing because I'm already in combat with them, and it has a lower chance of success, or I really don't know. I know if I improve the diplomacy skill, it increases the level of NPC that I'm able to use diplomacy on. I don't think it increases the chance of diplomacy being successful. But what I don't know is, will it let me attempt diplomacy on NPCs that are too high a level and then just tell me it failed? Or will it not let me even attempt it? Oh, it worked. Okay.
Keep an eye on your valuables. You can't protect your own.
We'd be dust except for the factory.
Okay. I need to remember how to get onto the factory floor here. I feel like I've maybe already taken a wrong turn. Which is disappointing because I need to be kind of in a hurry here.
Hey Doc, we got a problem.
No, maybe not. Maybe I'm okay. Yeah, here we go. This looks right. Ooh,
Off-worlders. Nothing good ever comes from them.
I don't... This is unlocked elsewhere? What?
Thanks, Doc.
Is this not just the main thing on the factory floor? What? I'm getting a little annoyed. I did this without a hitch, and by did this I mean get onto the factory floor. In my previous save, and I don't remember how I pulled that off. This whole entire load might just be me figuring out the way to get out there. Is it just this door and I'm really dumb? I guess so. Okay, well, fortunately, I'll be editing out the like 20 minutes I spent running around this factory trying to find a way onto this ship. Because I did eventually find that out in the completely lost video. I just needed to go up here where, of course, we have poor Cosette still dead. I looted stuff off her in the previous video. I'm not going to loot stuff off her now because I thought that maybe that was also part of what sabotaged me. They sensed that I had looted things off a dead body and they were like, oh, you ran into trouble. This is interesting. There was a security guard posted right here. You ever heard that phrase, speak of the devil and he shall appear? I should have just... Why did I say anything, gamers? Alright, secure... You're... Just keep up the good work, Mr. Guard. S tier security. Really impressive. You're doing a great job. Nothing weird just happened. You don't have to worry about that. I certainly am supposed to be here and did nothing unusual while I was on board. Alright, so I'm not going to try walking back to the building. I'm going to try just leaving now. And we'll see what Imogen thinks. If she says that mission went off without a hitch, I'm going to be deliriously happy and not even mad that I lost almost 3 hours of footage. Because it was actually so upsetting that that bug was causing me to... Like, there was a lot of dialogue because the next thing she's going to ask me to do is go have a meeting with the CEO, and I talked to a bunch of the executive NPCs, and they all had some, like, snark to give me over not being the perfect operative anymore. And it was really hard to take because I was like, because it was a bug. It's a bug that caused me to not be able to do that perfectly, and that is annoying.
How's it going?
Oh, this is Lane. This is Lane here. He's just the secretary of the ops center. Right, so I need to actually, I think part of the missing footage is going to be the conversation I had with Lane. So
Something
let's
you need?
talk to Lane. He's a cool character. Let's give him a little chat, shall we?
Hey there.
Hey, Lane. What's the latest news, Lane?
You didn't hear this from me, but you remember Tomo? Your hot
do remember
date from
Tomo.
Terabrew on day one? Apparently, he finally fulfilled his dream of being a field op. With a competitor. You ask me, nothing good will come of it. The guy's a bundle of nerves and a hothead to boot.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Tomo was worried about Ryujin Industries sending someone after him, like to kill him, to take him out. Which, the impression I got from Imogen is that they had no intention of doing that. They were just happy to be rid of him. But if he's started working as an operative for a competitor, it's like he's trying to, it's like it's going to be a self-fulfilling prophecy where his actions lead to him being a target of Ryujin.
Are you okay?
I feel like if he just gone off into the cosmos, no one would have bothered him, but he's really kicking the bee's nest, I guess. What exactly do you do here, Lane?
Well, besides brightening everyone's day with my presence, I mostly support the management staff. setting meetings, travel arrangements, and then a slew of menial tasks that no one else wants to do. Credits, collections for birthdays, HR policy reminders, you know, all that fun stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Basically, my job before I got a promotion on day one. Tell me about yourself, Wayne.
Oh, little old me? Well, I hardly know where to begin.
What do you do in your spare time?
Club circuit when I'm feeling social, people watching when I'm not. Rooftop roaming if you want to get away from the crowds. But when I really want a little me time, I just lock myself up in my apartment and blast Borealis's latest mix. The neighbors hate it, but for me, it's as therapeutic as it gets.
Well, Wayne, you know, they invented this thing. It's called headphones. If you use them when listening to music, it won't annoy your neighbors. Might be worth considering. Have you ever wanted to be an operative?
Oh heavens, no. I don't risk my life for anything except my signed Borealis music collection. Yuko's tried to get me to be a technician, but that's a whole different pressure. Mistakes on that team affect Ryujin's bottom line. Or worse, put a field op's life at risk. Hard pass.
I can respect someone who likes the position they're in and doesn't want to move up because it's, you know, it's the right level of responsibility that they're, you know, psychologically prepared to handle. I respect that, Lane. I respect that. I'm glad you like your job. How long have you been working for Ryujin?
I just had my 6-year anniversary. If anyone told me I'd be holding a job that long when I first got here, I would have laughed in their face. I had all the dreams of leading that neon party life, but I learned pretty early on I'm a creature of safety and comfort. Now, I live vicariously through everyone here. All the drama, none of the risk.
Okay, Lane. Where are you from?
New Atlantis, believe it or not. Home to the UC and more restrictions than you can count.
Yeah.
Obviously not for me. I ran
Not
away
for
to
me either,
Neon
man.
as soon as I had the creds to hitch a ride.
I do not blame you. I'll let you get back to work. Thanks for chatting with me, Lane. It was nice to meet you.
Don't do me any favors. Nice chat, though.
Well, that's about all the stalling I can do. I need to go speak to Imogen now and have her tell me that the mission was imperfect. I'm sorry, Imogen. There was nothing I could do.
Hey there. Got an update for me?
What's going to happen now?
I get to let the in-office team know that the ball is in their court. Depending on their instructions, they can use the remote access to do anything from equipment failure to massive explosions. In the case of servers, it could be gross information leaks, a hardware failure. Basically, whatever might hurt their public perception the most.
See, some of the things on that list are corporate sabotage. Some of the things on that list are terrorism that could hurt innocent people, and I really hope we stick to a certain side of that list. I plan, yeah, because I get these like, it's done, but this still feels extreme dialogue options, and nothing I can do to talk her out of this. So, I planted the ARC device.
Good work. Now I can let Masako know how much she'll enjoy watching the news
It's
tonight.
this next line. It cuts
Now,
to my core.
on to the next, right? Oh, but before I forget, the results of your Astral Lounge escapades are in. I'm happy to say that the deal was officially called off. Masako was very pleased with the outcome, so she arranged a bonus through Linden. Apparently, you said all the right things when it came to Arthur. Quantum Synergies actually reached out to us to negotiate the potential deal.
All right, I am so like I'm bouncing off the walls happy right now. The line that she says to tell me the mission was imperfect did not happen. I repeat, it did not happen. I might be in the clear through using the negotiation, or what skill was that? I don't even remember. The skill to the diplomacy skill. Oh man, oh I'm so glad I thought to do that. I'm actually so glad I lost all that footage and I'm having to re-record this. It's crazy. Like from a content creator point of view, I'm very sad still. But from a
Are you
gaming
even
point of view,
listening?
from a gamer point of view, in the gamer seat here where I'm sitting, I'm so happy that I'm going to get to find out what happens if you're still flawless because there's so much dialogue coming up. And maybe I still wasn't flawless and I'm going to get some of the other bad dialogue, but this is such a good sign. I'm really happy. All right, so we've got the talk with Andrea activity. Like I mentioned, that continued to trigger as I did the next few quests for Ryujin. So we're going to hopefully get to progress our relationship with Andrea a bit and see where that goes. So I'm really excited for that. So how did the presentation go?
Hey, are
This
we
is, of course,
talking
asking
or
about
what?
the one I sabotaged between Infinity LTD and Quantum Synergies.
My sources tell me it was a train wreck. Once her numbers didn't match up, Arthur was all over her with questions. It didn't take long for her to break composure, and that's when she lost Zola. So you could say that presentation went perfectly, as far as we're concerned. Hence the bonus.
You wanted results? I got them.
Not to mention you scored big in the reliability department. It makes this next assignment seem a bit lackluster, but it still carries weight. In order to stay on top of the market, we have to know what our competition is doing. The next assignment requires a more brute force approach, since the chances of them sharing that information is unlikely.
I sabotaged the company for stealing from us. This is classic hypocrisy. Let me guess. Brute force means we're going to have to steal from them. Isn't Ryujin innovative enough on its own? No, of course, we're the perfect little corporate stooge, so we have to do whatever it takes to remain the industry leader.
Spoken like a true Ryujin employee.
Darn
Your
right.
target is a prototype schematic for a new engine that Trident Luxury Lines is working on. According to the rumors, it's projected to be 17% more efficient than any engine on the market. The current schematic was sent to their star yard to begin prototyping, so they could be in the office area or the factory floor.
Can I get some details on the Trident
The
Star
star
Yard?
yard is a mix of sales floor and manufacturing. If you're looking to blend in, you've definitely got options. It's not too far, in Aquila's orbit, so hopefully your ship's ready.
Got it. One prototype engine schematic coming up.
You'll find the Trident Luxury Line star yard orbiting Aquila in the Cheyenne system. Remember, same rules apply. Don't get caught, and don't make a mess.
All right. Now, I went to the Trident Luxury Star Yards before. It's a very prominent, star station in orbit of Aquila. So it's, something I noticed very early on in the game. We went there, we visited, we met a very sort of eccentric, full of herself engineer, starship designer, whatever there. And we brought her back a drink from Neon that she requested we go get. Well, that's weird. It wouldn't let me target the star yard itself. Whoops. Oh, I guess it's going to force me to jump to Aquila first. That's fine. And when I was in there, I noticed a little section of the star yard that was sort of
We're gonna do a quick scan for contraband, and you can be on your way.
Story to
I
be
have
continued once
things I wish to discuss with you.
Scan complete.
all the NPCs in the world stop yapping at me. I did find an area of that place that was locked up that I could sort of stealth into, but I didn't bother to do that, of course, because I didn't have any reason to at the time. But I have a feeling I know exactly where we are going, exactly which lock we need to pick. I mean, obviously I do because because I've done this before. But before I did it before, I had a feeling about where I needed to go, and we'll check in with that NPC as well to see if she has any more requests for us, wants us to go bring her any more exotic drinks or anything like that. I think before we progress too much, though, we will have a little chat with Andrea and see what she wants to talk about with us.
Ship is now docked. Perfect. Didn't even smudge the paint.
So I presume Andrea is, yes, she's following us. Perfect. Andrea, you want to talk?
I have been curious. I know that your role in Constellation was thrust upon you in an unusual way. But that experience does not demand that you stay. You could have delivered the artifact and then left. Why do you stay?
It's a good group of people, and they need my help.
They are dedicated in their cause. This is rare and admirable, I think. My past is complicated. And anyone in Constellation will tell you I do not speak much of it. But
Yeah,
my
ain't that the
family
truth?
always stressed the importance of having a purpose in life. You must have a reason for being.
So this is interesting. She says, my family stressed the importance of having a purpose in life. You must have a reason for being. I usually respond to this with, I think having goals is important. But then she basically comes back being like, that's not the same thing as having a purpose. I kind of feel like it is. And she eventually comes around to our point of view. But I'm going to first ask her, why is Constellation meaningful to you?
This group of people, who by rights would never associate with one another, has come together for a common cause. That is impressive on its own, before considering the magnitude of the work they have undertaken. The possibilities it holds.
You've got to have a reason to get out of bed in the morning. Hopefully you leave a little time for fun, too. No, we already asked her the personal question what she does in her spare time, and she's like, I don't. I don't do anything. Like physical training sometimes. Like, I think is her, like, she's just... But yeah, I'm going to use the same line I always use here. I think having goals is important.
A goal is something you work towards, an expectation of achievement. That is not the same. I believe it is sometimes phrased as, the destination is not as important as the journey. When I first came to New Atlantis, I was shocked at how many people go about their business every day like drones. They do their jobs, eat their food, sleep in their beds, all seemingly without concern for anything around them. Complacent. Their experience is so different from much of the settled systems. They do not know how good they have it.
Yeah, I mean, she draws that distinction where, like, a goal is something that you make, where you think that, you know, achieving that goal is something that's going to happen. A purpose is more so something that drives you throughout your life. But I feel like they're very intertwined. Like you're having a purpose can lead you to having certain goals. Having certain goals can sort of shape your purpose in life. How are things different for them?
There is no struggle to survive here. No great risk in daily life. I'm sure you have seen for yourself that is not the case for much of the settled systems.
Yeah, even
Hostile
for all of
environments,
New Atlantis down
dangerous
in the well,
creatures,
people
not
suffer.
to mention the threats posed by other humans. None of that touches these people.
Yeah, they really are living in sort of a bubble there in New Atlantis, but I mean, it's not necessarily a bad thing, Andrea. That's like the good side of the fascism they got going on there. There's no way to know what someone else is going through.
You believe I am too quick to judge. Perhaps that is so. Purpose cuts through adversity. I know that all too well. And these people seem to have no idea.
You've obviously been through a lot.
I have. There have been times where I wondered whether it was worth it. My family is unique within the settled systems. I grew up outside the bounds of the United Colonies, or the Freestar Collective. My parents, and their parents before them, did not believe anyone outside our family could be trusted or relied upon. You can imagine, I am sure, how existence without ties to others is challenging in space.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, she's had such a weird, it's interesting. Like she's such an interesting character. I mean, we know through the meta of Sarah sort of spoiling this with her conversations with Andrea when they're on the ship together, that she is a member of House Varun. When she says family, she says her family. She doesn't just mean her immediate family. She means, I think of House Varun as my family, and this is how things be with House Varun. Why did your family insist on independence?
They believed, and still do, that anyone who was not part of our family did not share our values, our goals, and was ultimately a potential threat. My time in the settled systems has mostly led me to agree with them.
Getting by on your own is admirable.
It has certainly proven valuable. Saved me. A few times, without question. For now, though, it would seem you and I have found purpose in Constellation. I believe that is enough. I am pleased that we have common cause, and have enjoyed our time together. Thank you.
I never noticed that before. The subtitles there do not line up with the voice-acted line.
Hi.
Okay.
Please disregard my attempted.
I have heard much debate on whether Trident ships are overpriced. I have never flown one myself, so I cannot be sure.
Yeah, none of us have flown one, Andrea.
The galaxy must see my latest masterpiece.
Gladys, how'd you enjoy that drink
Rest
I gave you?
assured that
I could
every
actually ask her
inch
that.
of a Trident luxury ship was reviewed by myself. And my trusty staff, of course.
Of course. So how'd you like the velocity?
Oh my god. It was putrid. Simply putrid. The taste. The mouthfeel. Dear God, it was like swallowing sludge. Oh, disgusting. How anyone could enjoy that trash is simply beyond me. I suppose some people, no, most people, have no taste.
She's
Whatever
such a
you
lovely
say.
lady. Alright, I appear to be hidden. Let's try this. Should have saved before I did this, but oh well, I'm in it now.
Hope you can succeed at that before we are discovered.
Yeah, me too, Andrea. Me too. All right. Prototype schematic. Really nothing to see here. Let's go back and tell Imogen the good news.
Welcome to Freestar Space. We're going to do a quick scan for contraband and you can be on your way.
Ah, yes. Forced into a double loading
And that's
screen.
it. Enjoy, Neon.
Really do wish they'd just let me land. It's, you know, I do understand that there is a method to the madness. It's not just random. I believe it's forced me to do the double loading screen that time because I had my ship docked to a star station. When your ship is docked to something, it forces you to go to the orbit of a planet instead of landing directly on it if you're going to fast travel. Like, I sort of, just through playing a lot, I understand how the systems work. I just don't understand the why behind why they've restricted certain things. I think at the end of the day, they did want to put some things in place that would force you to occasionally jump to a planet's orbit instead of just fast traveling everywhere from point A to point B. Because in orbits where you have a lot of random encounters in the game, and I can understand why the developers would want to, like, trick people. I guess that's not really the right word I'm looking for. Would want to lead people to encountering those through the game systems. Anyway, Imogen.
Just the person I wanted to see. You got that schematic?
I sure did. What are your plans for the schematic?
We'll have our research and development team take a look. If there's anything notable, we'll reverse engineer it, then recreate it with our own spin. And believe me, by the time our engineers are through, Trident won't even recognize it.
Yup, and Trident is none the wiser.
And we aim to keep it that way. I need to deliver this to Vina so she can start the reverse engineering process, but first, Ulara wants to see you. I've upgraded your security level so you can access the executive floor, where her office is. Tell her assistant Maeve you have an appointment. I won't be far behind, in case you get lost.
Yeah, you got it, boss. Going to meet the big boss over the boss. Ooh. The name of the new mission is Top Secrets. This is probably going to be fun. Imogen said her boss, Ularo Chen, would like to see me about my next assignment. I need to report to her office on the executive floor of Ryujin Tower and find out all the details. Let's do it. We'll, of course, be ignoring the main objective for a bit and taking a look around this new area we've gained access to, the executive
It says
floor.
something, does it not? That the executives wish to have everyone else physically beneath them?
Yeah, good point, Andrea.
If you need to make an appointment with Miss Chen or Miss Imada, please speak to my colleague Maeve.
Right. I do need to go talk to Maeve, but I want to talk to you first, Thomas. How are
The
you doing?
custodians just finished polishing everything. Keep your hands to yourself, if you don't mind.
Oh, he's one of those. Do you hear a lot of interesting things on this floor?
Sure do. And I'm not interested in discussing it with you. I've kept this job for almost a decade by being tight-lipped, and that's not going to change now.
Yeah,
Let me know
understandable.
if you need help finding
Loose lips,
anything.
sink ships.
I think that
As
was
they
the
say.
single most stressful experience of my life.
Yeah, but you killed it in there. Genevieve seemed genuinely interested.
Lyndon didn't seem too impressed with the numbers, though.
The only thing that impresses Lyndon is a designer suit, which is way out of our budget right now.
Well, hey, if this deal goes through, maybe that'll be my first purchase. Howdy.
Yes.
Just some random NPC flavor. I think Genevieve's the one we're going to see for the quest, and we're familiar with Imogen as well. Wow, there's a lot of stuff to see here. Let's take a look in here.
I'm glad we're making an effort in our
Oh,
appearance
Lyndon,
today.
speak of the devil. Now, I want to save my game here for a couple reasons. One being that it's been a hot minute since we've done a manual save. And because I want to steal this dude's coffee. And that might happen when I do so. That's why we save. Now, I'd feel bad about save scumming, but I want to steal his coffee purely for my own shits and giggles, not for any reason that will benefit me in any way. So, we're just going to make sure that goes off without a hitch. Not trying to tank my job at Ryujin Industries just to steal someone's coffee, you know. All right, coffee theft attempt number 2. Ooh, man, he is eagle-eyed today. I'm not trying to waste a bunch of time on this. I'm surprised that I'm failing this so often. Again, unfortunately, the pickpocketing skill does not, as far as I'm aware, increase your percentage chance of pickpocket success. I think it just increases the level of NPC that you can pickpocket from. I think the final level of the skill lets you steal like their holstered weapons or something like that in addition to the other stuff you can steal from them. Wow, goodness gracious. And let me just say, a 500 bounty is the same bounty I got for stealing the artifact from the... why can't I remember the name of that ship now? The Scald? The Scow. The Scow. So it's really funny to see the same bounty pop up for stealing a coffee. I'm getting a little bit annoyed with how reliably he's catching me stealing his coffee. I think I'm gonna make a hard rule. I'm gonna try it one more time. If I get caught again, I'm gonna reload one last time. And we're just gonna move on without me stealing his coffee. It is what it is, right?
I hope whatever you took is worth the risk.
I don't think it was, Andrea. If I'm being honest with you, that was rough. That was too many reloads for my taste. Lyndon, how's it going?
I see we have an operative who can appreciate a good suit.
Right, because I'm still wearing that suit. The suit I was given as part of my job. Previously, I talked to him in my other suit, and he basically makes fun of my poor fashion choices, even though it's like a corpo boardroom suit, which looks better in my opinion. But it's only if you're wearing the one that you're given as part of this job that he is impressed. So I'm just going to leave that on for the duration of my Ryujin Industries faction quest, since it seems to be a piece of apparel that the NPCs respond favorably to in Ryujin.
I don't appreciate the silent treatment.
Oh, I can compliment him right back. I see you can appreciate a good suit as well.
I believe appearance to be a point of pride. In the effort of making small talk, I hope you're enjoying your newly gained position. Our operatives are quite the expense, but a necessary one. You're proving to be quite the outlier.
This is great. So, this was the second point at which an NPC alluded to the fact that I had been an imperfect operative. And it seems that, again, the actions I took in having to replay all this have corrected that problem, and I'm over the moon. I'm so happy that I'm back to being the perfect operative. Unless they send me back to Hope Tech again, I think we can count on having a perfect record for the duration of our employment here at Ryujin, and I love it. I'm so happy that we're getting to correct that problem.
Were you going to say something?
And it was such an easy solution too. It was so simple that I thought there's no way this works right, but it did. See, this is a little too prideful. I always aim for perfection. True. I'll take that as a compliment. Yeah, sure, also true, but I always aim for perfection, I think is what I'm going to say.
We have that in common. I believe I've met my social quota for the day, so I'll be continuing on with my work
social quota.
Perhaps we'll chat another time.
Yes. Good job fulfilling your social quota for the day, Lyndon. Goodbye now. Oh yeah, was I able to look at his computer? No, he doesn't have a real, or well, he does have a real one, but it's not open.
I've been waiting here for ages.
I don't think I noticed this door before. Oh, it's just the corporate restroom? Okay.
I hate waiting. It's just...
Nothing somewhere on the other side? Okay. I think that just leaves, wait. Right, this room I haven't been in yet. There is a computer in here with a master lock on it, too. Detected by something. Alright, well, anyway. Before we engage in more shenanigans, since we had to reload so many times to get that man's coffee, we're going to do a quick save here. Alright, he doesn't have anything I need to get off of him. Let's hack into his computer, though. I think I already messed this up. Yeah, I sure did. Oh, so many options. Let's click auto slot and see what it gives me. Okay. Ooh, this is a tough one too. Let's use another auto slot. This one's leaving me no choice but to do another 2 and 1. But again, it's like forcing me to decide between these two twos. Two twos. I think that one and this one are the same. Yeah, so let's just use one of those two. It's fine. I'm freely busting out the auto slots because in a previous life, that walk took me about 30 attempts to get through. So everyone can be happy they don't have to watch me struggle through that. Security alerts. Employee ID 2484. Connected external device. Employee ID 0126. Accessed unsecure gateway. Oh, they got different violation codes too. Violation 08.0. 1749, unknown external connection. Oh, that's funny. It's this one is 02.3a. This is what we really care about. From Ularu Chen, who is the boss we're about to go meet. Oh no. Is Ularu the one we're about to go meet? Maybe. It's either Ularu or Genevieve. I remember we had that email between Ularu and my boss that sounded very friendly. I think I came away with the impression that they were a couple. But Ularu is the chief operating officer. So maybe she is the one we're about to go meet. I think so. Tomo Higashi. Tomo, of course, is the one we had that confrontation with at the Terabrew coffee shop and who we read about in some follow-up logs, is no longer with the corporation. Please see to it. Please see to the usual search and purge of his office equipment. I don't expect you'll find anything, save proof of his own incompetence, but let me know if you do. Yuko Serrano. Small favor. Hey Dalton, one of my texts ran into some interesting encryption. I was hoping you could take a look and maybe tweak an algorithm or two to help crack it. You know, simple stuff. I owe you lunch. Yuko. This is from Masako Imada. Security clearance levels. Dalton, I'd like for you to review the current security levels for our subsidiaries. I've heard rumors that Taio engineers may have access to aspects of our R&D database that I suspect Vina had a hand in. While I support her wish to share knowledge, we cannot allow competitors to see this as a backdoor. That's from the CEO herself, Masako.
I never had the patience for computer systems.
Yeah, some interesting world building
This deal could be huge for my
behind a master locked computer. That's rough for anyone who didn't bother to go into the security skill. We got one last office to check out here. I think this is just a really fancy looking conference room. Oh, look at this. Best Technology Award. Best Product Award. Best Design of the Year Award. Business Award. No years on this. I guess they've just earned those awards in perpetuity. Oh, there's some more over here. Best Innovation Award. Best Design. Best Innovation again. They got the fire alarm. Look at the detail here. Little instructions like open the panel and then pull the switch. Little marker for where the fire extinguisher are. All these details are just really impressive. Like, they put a lot of effort into designing some of these set pieces like this. Look at this boardroom just in general. Very cool. We got the intercom device in the center of the table. It's supposed to be like a conference room line, you know? Cool stuff. So here
So
we've
much
got
work to do.
Alexis. Alexis also doesn't have a real computer. I'm not going to bother going into her safe. But I am going to steal her coffee. You'd think, surely Eardstoppa has learned his lesson by now.
And you got away with it? Impressive.
Andreas, shh! You're gonna let her know what I did.
I hope you're minding yourself while on the job.
Andrea's constantly trying to rat me out. How's Jalen doing? That would be Jalen Price, who's the Freestar Ranger here in Neon, that's related to Alexis here.
Your guess is as good as mine. Jalen and I don't speak too often. It's always prompted by a special occasion or tragic event of some sort. We aren't a close-knit family, unlike some who work here, and I'm under the impression we both prefer it that way.
Do you get a lot of lawsuits about neuroamps?
Thanks to my predecessors, no. The user agreement for neuroamps is very clear. It stipulates that once activated, the user assumes complete responsibility for the hardware, its usage, and any risks that may come with using such a device.
Yeah, I'm wearing a neuroamp right now, and this does not fill me with confidence. Alexis is the head of legal, of course, here at Ryujin. I imagine Ryujin keeps your department pretty busy.
Busy is an understatement, but most of what we deal with is considered routine, so our workload is manageable.
Hello.
All right, Alexis. Nice catching up with you. All right, I think that wraps up everything on this floor. Let's go to the tippy top where we're sure to meet the person we were sent here to meet. It's really interesting, like, they're in that office over there, right? We can tell that from here. My current quest objective is Imogen said her boss, Uaro Chen, would like to see... It is Uaro we're going to see, right? Would like to see me about my next assignment. I need to report to her office on the executive floor of Ryujin Tower and find out the details. Okay, let's just march on in.
Can I help you?
Oh. Right. And then my quest objective updates to, on my way to Uaro Chen's office, a woman asked if she can help me. I should talk to her and let her know I'm here to see Uaro. So my boss Imogen did instruct me to go ahead and check in with, I forget her name, but I'll find out in a second, the secretary there.
Don't cause any trouble.
I did just want to take a little peek in here. We can see that Uaro is meeting with someone in her office currently. I think we'll catch the tail end of their conversation after we progress this quest a little bit more. Now notice my boss is not behind me. Imogen is nowhere to be seen. She's not sneaking up behind me or anything. She said she was going to be right behind me. Alright, Maeve.
Name and appointment.
So now Maeve said name and appointment. And I have three options here. I can say Nunya, which is just rude. I can say I'm expected. Imogen Salso sent me, which answers neither of her questions. Or I could say Eardstoppa. I'm supposed to see Uaro Chen, which is my name and the appointment. So we're going to be a good little corporate stooge and say this.
Confirmed. Ularu is wrapping up a meeting with Genevieve.
Genevieve,
You can
right.
wait here or in the lobby area.
I keep mixing
I'll
up
let you know
Ularu
when
and
she's
Genevieve.
ready to see you.
Genevieve's the person that
I
Ularu
see
is
Imogen
currently meeting
Salso
with.
is supposed to be with you.
I'm right here, Maeve.
Oh my god!
Good. It should just
Jump
be
scare.
a moment. Well, sooner than I thought. Looks like Ularu's ready now.
You know, if they aren't willing, that leaves us with only one option.
You know, if they aren't willing, that leaves us with only one option. Yeah, I just wanted to pause because I found that so funny. Imogen just pops up out of nowhere. She's like right behind you suddenly. It's so weird.
God, Ularu, is that always your response? I don't want another PR mess on my hands.
Right, Genevieve's the head of PR and
Yes,
marketing.
Viv, because you're too good at your job. Now, we can talk details later. My next appointment's here.
Fine, but you can break this news to Alexis at our next meeting.
Genevieve!
Look who's on the executive floor. Moving up, I see.
How easy is it to market neuroamps?
The NeuroAmp campaign is always a delicate subject. I have a love-hate relationship with it due to how polarizing the technology can be for some. It's easy to get our target audience to buy in, but it's the naysayers that we really want to appeal to, and that's our biggest challenge.
What kind of work do us operatives create for your team?
Cover stories, mostly. If an operative is caught or Ryujin involvement is suspected, we go into damage control. It's a lot of conversations and negotiations, working with witnesses, law enforcement, the press, not to mention preparing our own statements so we can quell any oncoming storms, or at least get ahead of them.
You're in charge of both marketing and public relations.
Oh yeah. When Masako promoted me to head up marketing, I told her I wanted complete control of all public-facing aspects. Being the brilliant mind that she is, she didn't even hesitate. Every facet of Ryujin's narrative is carefully crafted by me and my team, with plenty of help from operations, of course.
I mean, that is definitely the way to do it. If you've got a marketing PR genius working for your corporation, they should have complete control if you want the best results. Thanks, Genevieve. Nice catching up with you. That's a little weird. So anyway, we're going to step into this office now and meet with her. Let me just do a manual save because it's been a little bit.
Good. You're finally here. The one I've been hearing so much about. I'm Ularu Chen, head of operations here at Ryujin.
Nice to finally meet you, Ularu.
What do you think of your new job so far?
I'm not going to ask that dumb question at the bottom. So this is the third NPC that made it very clear that I had been an imperfect operative, that I had made some mistakes. So if we make it through this conversation and she doesn't imply anything in that regard, I'm already feeling pretty confident that we managed to pull off a miracle and get around that bug at Hope Tech so that we could preserve our perfect record with the company. This job seems right up my alley.
In that case, it sounds like our initial impression of you is turning out to be quite accurate. Now, my dear Jeannie here says you've been through the basics of what we do and pulled off success every time.
5 successful standard assignments and 1 specialized.
And on top of all that, a flawless record.
Yes!
It's no wonder they love you up here.
Yes!
I happen to have a personal assignment that I'd like to send you on. One that involves meeting up with an outside contact. Jeannie seems to think you're more than capable of handling it.
He's the best operative I've ever hired.
Oh, thank you.
Let's not forget the only operative you've ever hired. Meeting with outside contacts isn't always as straightforward as your past assignments. Some can be fickle or demanding, so you'll need to decide how to handle them and what decisions to make on the fly.
I'm sure I can make them see things my way.
Good. Then you shouldn't have any trouble. Your contact is Simon Ryujin. He claims to have information on a new project that Infinity Ltd is working on. He said it's a game changer that Ryujin would be especially interested in. So his asking price is the big thing to consider. Finance will reimburse up to 1,000 credits. So if you have negotiation skills, use them.
Ah. Yeah, 1,000 credits is a weird amount. I've found in this game that some NPCs act like 1,000 credits is like table scraps, like what you'd pay for a candy bar, and some NPCs act like 1,000 credits is an enormous sum of money. And there seems to be no in between. In this case, they're acting like it's an enormous sum of money that I'm being provided to act as a bribe. He's not getting any of my credits. I mean, facts, but... Anything specific I need to know about Simon?
Simon's been working with us for years, so he'll pose no threat to you. He's paranoid, which is why I assume he's never been caught. But his information is typically worth it. Now, in order to confirm your identity, Simon prefers code phrases. I'll let Jeannie give you the details on this one because the concept is just beneath me.
Simon is into sports, so he enjoys any opportunity to talk about them. At some point, he'll casually say, "Looks like the Galactic Raiders are the #1 pick for the Universal Championship this year." You get to respond with, "Razor Derby is the only real sport." Got it?
Razor Derby is the only real sport. Yes, got it.
Razor Derby is the only real sport, if you ask me. Razor Derby, geez, that sounds like some form of roller derby that involves razor blades. I don't want to know. I mean, maybe I do want to know. What's Razor Derby?
According to Simon Ryujin, it's the only real sport in the galaxy. But
Right,
if you
I
want
get
a
that.
lesson in sports, just ask him.
Oh,
Movies
fine,
are more
fine,
my
fine.
thing when it comes to entertainment.
Who are the Galactic Raiders?
They're a batball team that sucks. They have about as much chance of winning the Universal
Right,
Championship
batball.
as Aurora does of going legal outside of Neon. Simon despises batball, though, which is why he crafted that response you give in return.
I like his style.
Well, now we know what kind of taste our latest operative has.
It does make things a little more interesting. Luckily, he's not a huge stickler for it, but sometimes we like to give him a hard time. You'll need to travel to Sidonia to meet up with him. Just look for him above the Lux condos in the plaza.
You spoke very highly of this one, Jeannie. Let's hope he doesn't make a liar out of you. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have some things to take care of.
Thanks for the vote of confidence.
Right, so before we proceed, it's updated our quest. I need to travel to Sidonia on Mars in the Sol System. From there, I need to find one of Ularu's contacts, Simon Ryujin. I'm probably horribly mispronouncing that last name. And negotiate a deal for the information he has. Before we leave...
Do I look
Ooh, I
like
can get into her
Imogene to
computer.
you?
She's not happy with me hanging out in her office. We'll be quick, dear. I just need to steal your keycard.
They did not even notice. Well done.
Oh, thanks, Andrea. I'm detected again though, so let's get back to hidden if we can. I think I'm gonna have to go to the other side of her desk here. There we go. Announcements, we've already read both of those. Messages. My dear Ularu, I believe I have a package of great importance that belongs to you. Shall we arrange for a pickup? S. Is that Simon Ryzik? It's from Unknown, interestingly. From Yuko Serrano about Tomo. Hey Ularu, I was able to confirm that Tomo Higashi did not have adequate supporting data for his last report. Looks like he built his own theory off a handful of observations and what he claims as experience. Good thing Imogen rejected it, right? That's his third offense, so Imogen and I both agree to recommend him for termination. I know you like to do the honors. Yuko, yeah. One of those bosses. I can kind of tell. Lives for that power trip. This is from Camden Cho. Shipment confirmations. Here are the confirmation numbers you want for the following shipments. Nova Blast, Nova Lights, Audio Slates, 2 crates, Neurotech Mark IV. I don't think we've ever seen a Neurotech Mark IV in the wild. All deliveries are on time. I'll notify you once shipping receives them. Camden Cho, Operations Supply Chain Manager. This is from Oliver Saito about lunch. Dear Ularu, I want to personally apologize for my brother's behavior over dinner the other night. I believe I believe he still harbors ill will towards Miss Imada, and as you know, his mind simply isn't what it used to be. I know he rejected your offer of a medical neuroamp to help with his clarity, but I will keep trying to change his mind. Although our last dinner together was an exception, he truly does enjoy seeing you. Your admiration and respect for him instantly bring back the man I once knew. I hope you'll still see us in the future. Best, Oliver. Well, interesting little snippet of world building. It's a shame, though. I don't feel like there's ever any follow-up on these things. They're always just little pocket dimensions of lore that
got my eye on
never
you.
get expanded upon, but I enjoy reading them nonetheless. Store is inaccessible. Maybe my future office if I keep getting promoted. Anyway, let's waste no time. Let's travel to Cydonia.
Cydonia. The UC clings to its old ways. I suspect this soul system would be abandoned otherwise.
Excuse me. Whew. Almost sneezed on mic. Hopefully that didn't come through. Seeing stars now.
The community center on P1
right.
is a good place to connect with others, or fulfill any spiritual needs they have.
So this is the last little bit that I did.
Do you imagine anyone actually enjoys living here?
Of course, as soon as I start trying to talk. Andrea just has the pipe hop. This mission is the last little bit I did in the previous video that is now lost footage. So after we wrap things up here on Cydonia, we'll be caught back up and things will be blind again, which is really nice. When I was here before, I found that there were some areas of Cydonia that I had neglected through my entire playthrough somehow. So we're going to go meet some new NPCs and find some new world building before we proceed with this quest.
I simply cannot.
Mainly having to do with this area of the city. I never went this way, which leads into this. Whoops, which leads into this room. Is kind of like a How would you describe this? Like a telecommuting office? No, that's not what I'm trying. Like it's a place for people who are staying here as guests to come
If you
and.
find jumping in low gravity amusing.
Oh my God, Andrea, to come and do work. I don't know. I'm stumbling over my words, and NPCs are interrupting me, making me lose my train of thought. So let's just.
Now is your chance to enjoy yourself.
At this point, she had advanced her story a bit more in the previous timeline, so I'm a little bit disappointed that we're not getting that. We've got the Deimos HR computer. We've got Stanley's computer. We've got computer. This just has the 3 generic announcements that we've seen several times on different computers in the game.
Sometimes I feel
We've got
like these
Peter
minds
Brennan
just
in here
run
and Peter
themselves.
Brennan's computer.
I like to think that's thanks to me.
Now, when I came in here in the other timeline, there were a bunch of people in here working. And they are all not here right now, which is good for me breaking into computers illegally. But bad for me meeting named NPCs. So let's go ahead and hack this Deimos HR computer. And then I'm gonna go past time, I think, is the solution to this. Make sure it's daytime, and then we'll get some dialogue from the NPCs in here, I believe.
A sober
Only
Sidonia
Tia's-
is a safe Sidonia. While indulging in alcoholic beverages is not discouraged, operating heavy machinery while under the influence is dangerous to yourself and those around you. Please always drink responsibly.
Yes, everyone, please drink responsibly. Now, what did this say? Only Tia's password. Wait, whoa. Only Tia's password, Drousap can unlock. Is it just me or is that being a little weird? Like, it's basically saying only Tia's password, which is this, Drousap, can unlock. Like, is it telling me what her password is? It does seem to be some sort of bug, right? There's, like, prototype equipment I can steal here. Guess I'll steal it. I don't know if that's relevant to anything. So the only one who is in his office is this guy. Let's save. Pick his pocket. Nothing. His computer requires a key. Only Peter Brennan's password can unlock. That's more like the message I expected to see at the other computer. Oh, we have Peter Brennan's daily planner. It appears to be completely blank except for one date from several years ago that simply reads, "Buy a new belt." Let's see. As far as I can tell, he's not even, well, I mean, maybe he's wearing a belt under that shirt. I don't know.
Mining must be a fun job. Or else
Oh, here
why
we go.
would
Here's
keep getting
Gilly.
so many
Gilly's come
applicants?
into the office. As far as I'm aware, there's not a way to, like, see what time it is unless you're in
If
the
you
past
notice
time
any
menu.
of the miners exhibiting worrisome behavior, feel free to let me know about it. Many people think psychology is only good for treating past emotional trauma, but it's a
Unless
great
you're
way
a
to
Deimos
prevent it in the
employee,
first place.
I can't really help you.
Was that her overlapping? Oh no, Tia just came in.
Worker satisfaction has been trending upwards recently. Taking their psychological concerns into account has played a part in that.
So Gilly's the resident psychologist here, apparently. She doesn't have any actual dialogue though. How about you, Tia? Do you have... She doesn't have her passcode on her. She's apparently into this computer now, but I still can't do anything there. Let's talk to her, shall we?
I haven't
Tia.
had a day off in 3 years.
and I wrote the damn time off policy.
Can't really talk to Tia. She doesn't have any real dialogue either. Did I try talking to you, Peter?
I'm a bit busy at the moment. Lots of business operations to operate and all that.
Yeah, I can tell from his daily planner that he's just a figurehead, useless middle management type. Gotta hate him. Oh, look, everyone's coming to work now. I don't have to go change in time or anything. Leona.
Deimos Star Yards may be the first major ship manufacturer, but that doesn't mean we haven't kept up with the times.
I've apparently already talked to this
Take care
NPC
now.
before, so I'm just going to leave it be. But most importantly, Stanley. So Stanley here is an NPC I met here who was sitting at this desk. I talked to him. I hacked into his computer. And as it turned out, Stanley is actually deeply integrated with the quest I'm doing currently. He's in town for a business meeting to discuss a new...
One of the earliest shipbuilders.
a new special project done by... Oh my god, the NPC dialogue. I can't escape it. Stanley's a executive from Infinity Ltd. that's here to discuss a special proposal with Deimos. It's the whole purpose of me coming here for Ryujin is to sort of get that information, get that prototype or whatever. So even though in the previous timeline I got a bunch of information about that ahead of time, by talking to Stanley and by hacking his computer, I think we'll just follow the natural progression of this questline, this playthrough. I think I still do, like, I'm bothered by the fact Stanley's not in there, so I think I do still want to pass... So much noise in Cydonia. I think I do still want to pass time until Stanley shows up there, just to make sure we're playing through things at an appropriate time of the day. Oh, I can see what time it is right here. So it's 6:09 in the morning, which is why no one's up yet. So maybe we don't need to pass time. It is. So maybe we don't need to pass time. It is, you know, the beginning of the day. So just because I can't do any commentary because of all the loud noises around Cydonia, I'm just going to describe what the next thing is I'm about to do. I'm going to go into the Lux Apartments, part of the residential district. I've been there before, but there's this one apartment that you have to lockpick to get into, which I never bothered doing because I thought it was just another standard room. But it's actually locked for a reason, because it is the room belonging to the governor of Cydonia. And there's some fun world building and tidbits, again, ones that I don't expect to ever connect back to anything. But we do get a little window into the life of the governor of Cydonia, which is fun. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now.
Thank you for your cooperation.
Oh yeah, another thing, there is a UC distribution vendor here on Cydonia that I never encountered before. Boy, that could have saved me a lot of trouble on all the, you know, trips I've made selling ore and stuff when I'm grinding out some credits. So funny that I missed this entire merchant for the entire game, and they're quite a character too, so let's go meet them.
Hey, friendo. Got any special goods you're willing to part with? Maybe we can make a deal. Hello,
Dennis,
welcome
friendo.
to the Cydonia UC Exchange. The best goods, all courtesy of the United Colonies, straight to all of the wonderful UC soldiers, workers, and other citizens. I've got a little of this, a little of that, and maybe a little of some other things you wouldn't expect to find at the UC shop, But that's because I try to provide for everyone here. So please, browse my stock and let me know what I can get for you, friendo.
All right, Dennis. Not to be rude, but where are you from? I love that accent. It sounds like a Swedish accent to my untrained ears, and I may be very wrong about that. But it is giving off that vibe. I think he's going to give a different answer about it, though. But sounds like the voice actor might have a Swedish accent. Maybe I'm wrong. Not to be rude, but where are you from?
Ah, yes, it is the accent. I have been asked this before. Do not worry, I take no offense. From a very young age, I spent most of my life among the stars, aboard one ship or another. I picked up many ways of speaking, many languages. Because of this, the way I speak sounds strange to some, but that is the price I pay for knowing all the languages I do.
A very worldly or universally. I know. Universally? University? What's the Starfield equivalent of worldly? A very worldly, well-rounded gentleman here.
Don't leave me hanging.
Do you get all of your stock directly from the UC?
The UC, my employer, they try to furnish my exchange with plenty, but other planets, they need more, so we need to make do with what we get. But me, I have other ways of getting goods to sell, and so I do. I get a little bit of this and that from here and there, and that is how I provide for you and me. You understand?
I do. I love his way of speaking. I don't suppose you have any deals.
Do I have any good deals, you say? Friendo, I am full of good deals. My prices may be fixed by UC pencil pushers many worlds away, but I may find ways to work with you. For example, I buy things to refurbish and resell. You bring me these, I give you credits, and we make deals.
It must be exhausting managing this entire shop yourself.
Oh, friendo, you have no idea. You see, not only do I sell goods for the United Colonies, I also need to receive the shipments, stock the shelves, manage the inventory. Why, even now I have this big delivery. Tracking says it is here, but it is clearly not here. I don't see it, do you? The ship is out in the desert of Mars, not where it should be. Ship services tells me they can look at it, but I need my goods soon, and they're taking too long.
Yes, Dennis here has a side quest for me, a whole NPC merchant, a whole vendor, and a whole side quest that I missed for my entire playthrough somehow. But now we get it as part of the bonus episodes content. So I'm very excited. What do you think happened to it?
What happened? I don't know. The ship was marked as approaching, then it landed somewhere out there, and that was the last I heard. Did it crash? I hope not. But maybe, yes, it did. That would be terrible. My shipment would be ruined.
All you
And
care
the
about is
ship's
your
crew.
shipment, huh?
Oh, how tragic. What if? But we must not assume. We must be sure. And we must get my shipment. That is also important. Let's not forget.
He's like, my shipment might be ruined. It's like, oh yeah, and the ship's crew. Like, that'd be bad. But remember, we can't forget about the shipment. What kind of shipment is it?
Oh, just various crates of supplies. Nothing unusual. You see what I have in stock, yes, friendo? More of that. The people here, they need their supplies. And I need to sell them supplies. And without that shipment, neither can happen, right?
Right. I mean, I could go check it out for you.
You could? Yes? This is what I hoped when we talked. If you go to where the ship was last seen, you could look at it. Find out what happened. Take care of anything on board that shouldn't be there. Pirates, killer robots, heat leeches, whatever. And check the crates to make sure nothing is broken. Then come back to me, so I can send someone to recover the shipment and get to selling. Easy as peasy, as they say.
While Sidonia City Ordinance 5.82 concerning graffiti, street art, and vandalism is still in effect, A permit has been retroactively granted for the artist behind the Space Frog poster.
You did not find my cargo ship
Stop
yet, I
reporting
take
these
it?
artworks to the Office of the Governor.
Please stop reporting these artworks to the office of. Stop reporting these artworks to the office of the governor. They had they retroactively approved the Space Frog posters. That's hilarious.
Ah, welcome back. Will you tell?
Ooh, he has a lot of random dialogue. All right.
Me the word on my ship? Anything? No rush, but, well, actually, the quicker you find my cargo ship, the better.
I haven't checked out your ship yet. Can you remind me what I'm doing for you?
Keep you safe. If you see something suspicious,
Look at these PSAs are just constant and never ending. I can't hear myself think. Cydonia. I don't like Cydonia for this reason. It's probably why I missed all these like sections of Cydonia during my exploration, because I feel like I can't do any commentary while I'm here because of all the noise. Let me see what you have in stock. I want to see what you're selling. He said he had some interesting stuff. Might as well check it out. Yeah, this is cool. He has all these, the UC Marine spacesuit, UC Star Troop spacesuit, which looks badass. Same with the packs. There's apparently a unique to Cydonia power pack, which is cool. Anywho.
See you later, friendo.
Yeah, thanks. It was really nice to meet you, Dennis. Brenda. Alright, so let me go ahead and save before we go talk to the main NPC here. We'll, of course, do our friendo Dennis's quest before we leave Mars here.
Can't wait to get out of this place.
Simon.
You lost? Or just come to ask an out-of-work miner how his day's going?
I'm sure something will open up soon. Miners are always needed in Cydonia.
Yeah. I just wish Cydonia had a bit more to offer while I'm trying to enjoy my unemployment. Not much in the way of entertainment around here. Speaking of, looks like the Galactic Raiders are the #1 pick for the Universal Championship this year.
So annoying, like, that's unique NPC dialogue that I'll never be able to get again, and I had to deal with the klaxon sounding over it. Do we really have to do this? I heard the Solar Corsairs have the best chance. He'll hate that, because he's not a big fan of Badball, as we know. Something about Razor Derby is the best? No. Razor Derby is the only real sport.
You're damn right it is. I heard they were sending someone new. Nice to see you made it. I have information on a deal being proposed between Infinity Ltd and Deimos Stockyards. It's my belief that your employers would be highly interested in the details. So I'm upping my price.
Upping
It's
your
steep,
price?
yes.
We'll see about that.
But that is why I'm also offering a little side job if you can't pay up.
At least you're being open about the fact that you are gouging us.
Right, so I've been given a budget of 1,000 credits for this mission.
Pay attention, damn it.
Relax, buddy. You just had a long dialogue. That's why we're I don't like how they do that. Like, if an NPC has a long line of dialogue, then when they get to the end of it, they immediately triggers their impatience dialogue. It doesn't even give you a chance to read through the options. It's just like, oh, you've taken too long, because whatever timer it is they have built into the game to determine when that impatience dialogue triggers, it's based on when they started the thing they were saying and not when they ended it. So he wants 10 times as much as I've been budgeted for this. I can just pay him. I can hear about the side job,
Real alert
which I
there,
believe
huh?
will cause him to waive the fee. I can persuade him down. Now, this is interesting. I can give you a little insight because I reloaded about 1,000 times to do this in the previous timeline. So let me break down what happens when you make each of these choices. If I persuade him, he brings his price down to 8,000 instead of 10,000. Still pretty darn hefty. I can have Andrea say, maybe my friend here can help persuade you to reconsider that price. And I guess he takes that as kind of a threat. That brings him down to 4,000. So we're going to choose that.
Very well. If we are not presented with a more reasonable offer, we will be left with no choice but to take the information.
I don't think Ryujin would be too happy to hear about losing one of their informants.
Well, I do not work for Ryujin, so I care little what they might think. All I care about is a fair price.
All right, I get it. You want reasonable? This is as low as I go.
Wow. So, yet another thing that makes me happy that we lost all that footage. When I chose that dialogue option previously, and I did it several times, it bugged out and Andrea did not have any voiced lines. And I thought that was weird at the time, but I was just like, oh, there's not a voiced line for that. It's just whatever it said on the dialogue. But this time Andrea had voiced lines and the NPC interacted with her. That was so cool. But we're still not going to pay 4,000, so tell me about the side job.
You're going to like it. As you may guess, being an informant is not without its risks. I've heard there's a merc in Saturn's orbit who'd like to cross my name off her list. Melai Liskova. If you take her out and bring me her gun as proof, I'll consider my fee to be waived.
Why do you want her, why do you want the gun as proof?
Liskova has a sentimental attachment to that gun. Even named it Ember. She'd never just hand it over. It saved her life once or twice. Seems whenever it falls into enemy hands, it has a tendency to backfire or jam. On top of that, she's superstitious, which makes the gun all the more precious to her.
Yeah, so interestingly, like he wants it as, he feels like it's a good proof of death because she'd never part with it while still breathing. What can you tell me about Molai Liskova?
She's a freelance mercenary, used to work for Inception Technologies. But she likes her independence, so she went into business for herself. She specializes in killing for the right price. So before you get any second thoughts, you should think of it as doing the settled systems a favor.
Uh-huh. Sure, I believe you. You seem very trustworthy. I'm sure you're giving me the full story. Finding people is my specialty. Consider her disposed of.
Like that, we are to kill someone. So be it.
You're doing good me a tremendous favor. Just know you won't down easily, so be prepared. The life is called the Torah. Like I said, if you find her in orbit assessment, just remember to bring a gun as proof.
Andrea being a little judgy there, but she quickly was like, "Yeah, fine, whatever." So I totally spaced and forgot my intent to go check out the Lux apartments. Where did I find that entrance before? Was it down here? Yeah, Lux Condominiums. Okay, let's go. Right, so I came in here and I discovered that this one I'd never opened. So let's bust on in, because as I know from a previous timeline, this is the mayor's condo. Or not the mayor, the governor. Even more important sounding, right? The governor of all Cydonia. Sure. Yeah. There we go.
How quickly get that done?
Drea's constantly paranoid that we're gonna get caught.
Of course, those things are our better accommodations. Realistically speaking.
She seems to know this is the governor's place here. Right, so there's nothing interesting here loot-wise. But there's some interesting stuff on Governor Hurst's computer, so let's check it out. Just some interesting world building, but I love that sort of stuff. And I've got to assume that if anyone's been watching me this far into the series, they love that sort of stuff too. Otherwise, why would you put up with all my nonsense? Right, let's start on personal notes. To-do list, call contractor about expansion estimate, message Tamara, pick up prescription, change food delivery time, transfer funds to David, and cancel hotel in Neon. Actually, really should read the messages first. I think I realized this belatedly last time. Because cancel hotel in Neon and transfer funds to David, a lot of these to-do list items actually are related to the messages that he has received. Rough draft unfinished. My fellow Cydonians, it is with great pleasure that I announce our quarterly GDP is higher than expected, bringing with it one of the strongest economies in Mars history. Many thanks to our friends at Deimos and our other local businesses, large and small alike, who help make it all possible. With that in mind, not sure where to continue from this. I'll pick this up later. Unfinished indeed. Autobiography notes, title names governing Mars, Visions of Cydonia, red all over, Hearst, a new future for the old colony. I mean, honestly, they're all decent. I think that last one sounds the most like a autobiography title. I mean, it would draw me in the most. Like, I would recommend that to him if you were standing here asking my opinion. Chapter 1, talk about my early life, what brought me to Mars. Chapter 2, studying law, early political career. Chapter 3, the challenges we face together and how I solve them. Chapter 4, looking to the future, building a better Mars together. All right, messages. Thank you. Governor Hearst, I just want to extend our gratitude for seeing that our mutual interests were kept in mind with that shipping fiasco last week. Had it not been for your persistence in hounding Sistef to locate the missing shipment, I fear it would have had major financial repercussions for our business associate and put our partnership in peril. Yeah, it sounds like they were putting the squeeze on the governor here to do something about this. A little implied threat in that there. Thank you again for making it clear that you value the Trade Authority's presence here on Mars. Octai Mbayar. Retreat. This is from Tamara, which is, I believe, his wife. If we look under personal notes, under the to-do list, he had message Tamara. Good news, honey. The retreat has been extended for another month, and they've asked me to continue my seminar. I know it's not easy being away from you for so long, but I've been enjoying my time here, and the money is good, so I'm fairly certain that I'll accept. Oh, excuse me. I'm fairly certain that I'll accept the offer. Their offer. It's just another month. Then I'll be home, and we can hopefully get the rest of the family together for a visit, or maybe we can do some sort of off-world reunion. It's always hard to plan a big get-together in Cydonia, but maybe we can see about renting a space in New Atlantis? Anyway, I miss you lots, and I'll be home before you know it. Love, Tamara. And then this is where we find out that the governor here is having some sort of affair. Glenn, the governor, emailed someone, what do you say to next weekend in Neon? I know a place we can meet up. And then this is this S character again. Which is so interesting. There was an S communicating with my boss at Ryujin. I just barely put that together for the first time. I wonder if it's the same person. Neon sounds great. Count me in. I haven't been in forever, so I'm very much looking forward to this. Just let me know when and where, and I'll be there. Expansion. Governor Hurst, I looked into what it would take to expand your condo. Realistically, I've got to say that even if you can afford it, it's not a good idea structurally. As you know, we need to make do with the space we have here in Cydonia, and adding on to the Lux condominiums just isn't feasible at this time without risking the integrity of the building and the structures around it. Your best bet will be to buy an adjoining unit and knock out a floor or wall to assimilate it into what you've got. But even then, that'd hurt the Cydonia housing market. I urge you to wait until the crater project is finished. Once the miners clear up enough space, maybe we can think about expanding the city into it and pushing the mines further out to make room for more residential buildings. Sorry for the bad news. Anton Friedman. Quick favor, this is from David. Hey, Dad! As you know, we've had some costly repairs to the house recently, and I'm dipping down into my last 200,000 credits to pay the contractors. I was wondering if you could transfer some more creds. Sorry, it says credits. I'm assuming the kind of attitude that David has here. I was wondering if you could transfer some more creds into my gal bank account sometime soon, you know, just in case. Thanks, Dad. I appreciate it. P.S. How's Mom? Is she back from her retreat yet? Give her my love, David. And this is another one from S. We had in on his to-do list, again, popping back to here. Transfer funds to David, of course, is in response to that message I just read. And then cancel hotel in Neon. He canceled his plans in Neon. And whoever S is, presumably someone he's having an affair with, S was none too pleased, as we're about to read. You know, I really believed you last time. Well, I'm done. You know, first what happened in Neon, and then all this talk about cutting me off after all I've done for you? You're a bastard, you know that? You think you can just walk away from me like you have no use for me anymore? Well, I've got news for you. I know more than you wish I knew. I also still have the spare key to your ship, and by the time you get this, it'll be too late to do anything about it. Have a nice life, Glenn. S. Really fun little snippets. A little bit of lore, a little bit of world building for the governor of Cydonia. I don't know if we'll ever meet the governor. I don't know if any of that will ever become relevant in the game. I think chances are it never will. But I'm glad to get it on the record nonetheless.
Journalistic integrity at its finest. SS.
So let us proceed to finding the Datura in Saturn's orbit. Oh. I learned my lesson about this last time. This is a good spot to do a manual save. Okay.
That's bad enough. State your business or I open fire. That's more like it. So, tell me what you're doing here. I'll decide whether or not to strip you for selfish.
Okay. So thank you for everyone. Thank you everyone for sticking with me this far. I can hear the audio starting to bug out again. And this is why, you know, I've been sort of listening to the stream in the background to make sure I knew when to cut things off. So I'm going to actually end this video here. The next video will pick up right here where we left off with the continuation of this faction quest for Ryujin Industries. Thank you everyone for watching. At the very beginning of the next video, we will be getting past the point where I'm no longer blind. I'm stumbling over my words here. Past the point of stuff I've already played through, and we'll be getting back to blind content again and my blind reactions to things. Thank you everyone for watching. As always, I hope you all have a fantastic day.